Hey guys, welcome back. It's kind of one of those hazy days. It's supposed to get some thunderstorms today, and so outside stuff is kind of at a minimum. I'm just going to go to Laconia Bike Week, but that may get put off till tomorrow. So today I decided to work on Lucy while she's in the garage, and one of the last things I never got done was putting the chrome down the side of it, the molding. You can see all the holes all the way around the bus. And I knew I had some stuff and not quite sure what I had, so I went in the camper out back where it was all being stored, and I went and I grabbed it. And I know a lot of it's pretty rough, but I have doubles of most of it. But some of it, as you can kind of tell, they just kind of ripped it off the body. You can see by the waves in it. Whatever screw they weren't able to get out, it looks like they probably just pulled on it and took it off. Again, especially on the nose there. So I was at a swap meet, oh, who knows how long ago, probably 10 years ago. And there was another set that was laying there, but it was cheap. It was like 60 bucks for all the pieces. So that's where you see doubles of what I have. So I'm probably just going to go take the best. Like you could tell the two with tape on them were together. But I may end up probably using that one and that one. All depends on how well they straighten out. And if worst case, I might even section them, put the two of them together. And then again, another pair for the door there. And then down this long side and around the corner is this one. And again, it kind of suffers. Yeah, that's not exactly straight. So as I said, it looks like they yanked it off the body through the holes. So I'm going to do my best to see how well that kind of straightens out. That's supposed to be the curve on the end, and that's nowhere near the curve on the end. Yeah, that's supposed to be that. Nice and gentle going around. So I can see how that makes out, and probably start with that piece first because it'll be the worst one. If I can't get that one to go, there's no sense on doing the rest of them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to take my exercise mat and lay it down on the bench. So I got some kind of cushion to work with. And I'm probably just going to work with my palms for now and just try to flex out all the bows that are in it and see how well it kind of comes back. And then we'll make some decisions from there. So I'll turn you back on in a second, but just want to show you what we're starting with, you know. Hey, so I've been beating on this piece of trim for a while. It's actually got it flipped around. That's the end that would curl around the ass end. I kind of just rolled it out by hand a little bit. And so what I figured I'd do is just try to see if I get the main section as straight as possible first, and I'll work my way down there, and hopefully what I learned by doing this part, when I get down to that part, will give me kind of an education. So what I'm doing is, you see I have the army blanket, and then this is like a 3/8 by 3 piece of steel. I'm kind of just setting it on top of that, and what I first did was I used a piece of paper, just stack some paper as a shim underneath it, and wherever it had a low spot, I would just kind of bring that low spot on top of the paper and just kind of work it here with a soft hammer, and just to try to get it somewhat in the straight position. So if you look down the other end, you can kind of see that's what I did down the other end, but you can also still see that it's got a bunch of waves in it, you know. So what I've done is I've come back and I've tried to make like a couple of dies that I can kind of work down the center of it. So on this end of it right here, I just grabbed this piece. What I could do is I could hammer on that, and it kind of helps to get the edge straight, and then any deviations in it kind of tries to straighten it out. But then of course I have to do it on this side and this side also, you know, going the other direction. So what I found was just taking a piece of rod that's roughly the same as the channel, and then I just kind of, wherever it's a little on the lumpy side, it'll show up. You can kind of see where it kind of shows up there. You can see a little dimple in it. Better one. I haven't come down this far to do the other side yet, so it's sitting up in the air. But if I just hammer that right there, it kind of straightens that line out. See how it is not touching there and is there. I don't know. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can mock you guys up, and then we'll try to do a little on screen. That should do pretty good right there. We'll see how that works out. So what I was doing was right in the area right here. So just to try to knock it into some kind of semblance. Just trying to get it somewhat flat. And then come around the other side of it and work this one. See if how I'm looking. Pretty good. It seems like it works it fairly quickly. I know I'm gonna go back and still fine tune it. I gotta clean it and everything yet too. But like now, if you look, the next divot is probably at the end of the block by about a foot yet, right where I went to, which is right there. I ran it up to, and if you look up to that line, and it starts to get wavy after that. So that should work out pretty good. I gotta work my way through the rest of this one, and I'm probably just gonna work this one all the way from beginning to finish to see how it works. You know, get my education on it, and then we'll move on to the other ones. I say that now. Let me change my mind too. All right, I'm gonna hammer on. Hammer on. Okay, well I came to the curve now. The rest of it I got pretty good. So I want to work the curve, but of course I can't really do that with a piece of round bar. So I took it and I heated it up and put a little bit of a bend in it. And I figure we'll learn together. We'll see how it kind of comes out down here. I don't know if that shows up. You see the wrinkles in it? Let's see if we can kind of work them out of there. Gotta get hit the other way with the flat bar now. I don't know if you guys are picking that up. Can you see that a bunch of it's already got taken out right there? It's got a dicky right there though. That's a hit. Anyway, so. Knock that down. You be gone. We're getting her. Never played with hammering this stuff out before. It's different because it's like almost like an extruded kind where the other stuff is stamped out, you know. Alright. I'm gonna keep hammering on that one, and then I may put some tape on it and try to see if I can make it get the bend on the around the corner. So that's what I went for. I decided just to screw it to the body, and I'm going to try working it around that corner. But I figure I'll work it, maybe put a screw in, work it, put a screw in, and that way I can kind of like steer, you know, so it follows the holes. I left the upward bend in it. I have a feeling that it kind of needs that, so I didn't work that part of it out of it because I thought I'd be doing more harm than good. But I figure I'll pop me in the stand. We'll try to curve that thing around there. See how it does for us. My other problem is the screws I have are a little too small. But as long as I can get it like started and mocked up and into place, I can come back and replace them. But I kind of want them to hold. Who knows? All right. I want to put the bus in gear. The bus is rolling. Kind of looked like I just did all the bending in one spot, didn't it? Let's see if I get another screw in there. I think it's going to have a gap on the upper edge. Maybe a couple more screws. Catch that one. It's good about you run a screw and it kind of, you're bending it, it wants to bend on that point. When you put the screw in, it kind of bends back a little. That's my guess anyway. Yeah, you see why I can't tighten that sucker down? That's alright. As long as it locates it. I'm try bumping that with a mallet. But when I take it back off, if I work that last little bit around, actually that looks pretty good. Not bad at all. Kind of hard to tell with the tape on there though, you know what the gap is, but whatever that gap is, as long as it's consistent, you know what I mean? As long as that lip stays that same distance away, I guess. Should be fine. Now, there's only one screw here, so it's not sucked in all the way. I think we'll be fine. It's actually, no, I'm not going to say it. Alright, let me I'll probably put all the screws in, or at least see if I can see all the holes, and then take that sucker back off of there and start making it look a little more on the pretty side. We'll screw it back up. Yeah, so I did want to do some practicing on a piece that if I screwed it up I really didn't need it before I started sanding the big one. So that's what I did. I went like 150, 320, I think I went to like 800, 1200 and then 2000. I just kind of ran it with sandpaper. And it's definitely a much better improvement than that. But I kind of want to see if it wants to shine up a little bit more. So I'm going to stuff in front of the buffer, see what we get. The fingers are in front of the lens. Alright, so we're just going to try this setup. I think I launched across the room. don't really know if it gained me anything or not. That was dry. I gotta remember, I'm gonna have to try to do that to a, you know, a piece that's like 7 feet long. Yeah. Outside. Might be better off just going to the 2000 and just kind of waxing it after that. I think it's because it's not really going to get back to a chrome, and I think if I do, the stuff's going to have so many pits in it that's actually going to look worse. So I may leave it with that kind of finish, which isn't bad compared to that. Alright, I'm going to do some work. How's that? Gaps look pretty good. It's got a little bit of a gap on top, but I think that was probably already there originally too. I don't think they get them that tight. But I'm happy with it compared to what I started with. I thought they were a lost cause. And then if you put the molding in it, that's kind of what happens. And that's the look you get. I'm not sure yet. I may try soaking these in hot water, see if they become pliable again. Because I think they're going to be a pain in the ass to get on there. Again, as I said, they're fairly cheap. And I'll probably stand back and see what I want for a color. They have a couple of different colors too I was talking about, so we may mix that up. I do kind of like the black picking up on the black there. Kind of ties it to the seals. Alright, well, now I'm going to just do that about another 10 times. A little before and after. That's a little better. I'd say. That's about how wavy it was too. So, gotta fix this one too. There we go. Enough gabbing. I'm gonna get to work, get all these suckers on there, or as many as I can anyway for tonight. And put the jewelry on, you know. Alright, moving fast forward. The only two pieces that are not done are the two nose pieces, but I'm getting late in the day and I don't want to rush it. And the only problem with the front is it is missing some of the holes. They're filled over with Bondo. So that side's there, but that side's not. So I don't want to rush it and try getting it. That's the part you're going to see every time if it's kitty wampus. But the rest of it is all on there. I have to make a have to cut one of the sections up because I don't have the little piece right here. Oh yeah, it came out really nice, a lot better than I expected. And then when you put the center piece in, all those screw holes disappear. So right now your eyes kind of go into the imperfections in the middle there, but if you just look at the outside ribs, they look pretty good. I think the molding is straighter than the bus. This one I have to take off one more time. You can see the finish difference between the two. I got to hit this with 1200. What I did was I tried cleaning them up with the wire wheel first, and that was the result of that, so I didn't like it. I did the same on another one, but I ended up just going back and hit them at like 60 grit and then working my way all the way back up again just to get the correct grain back in it again. I like that. Not much of a gap away from the body. And what I want to do is I'm going to take the screw, some of them are loose. I went hunting, and there's a bunch of these. They have to go on the end of each to kind of cap off the end of the molding, so when you open the door you don't see it. So these guys kind of go something like that, and they cover the edge. You get the idea. So I have 11 of the 14, so I'll put them in the most obvious places, and see how that works out. There you go. Yeah, the edges here, it just kind of finishes them off, so when you open the door, you don't see the profile of them. Yeah. Hey, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to shut it down and make a video out of this, or if I'm going to continue on and look and see how much time I have on it. Yeah, it's dark back here. Looks good though. Nice and straight. Everything came out really nice all the way around. I procrastinated for 3 years just because I thought things were going to fight me so bad, but actually, they're once you start hammering on them with something that's flat, they kind of flatten out pretty quick, pretty easy. Things move like solder. You know, maybe not that easy. All right. You just got to kind of picture them, that's all. Later. Yeah, it's from polish and aluminum. I did have gloves on for a while and I broke through those. But yes, it's a fine patina. Alright guys, I'm back after about a week. My material came in and I continued on. I did get the 2 front nose pieces straightened out, cleaned up, and installed, as you can see. And then I ordered that roll of material, which I said was coming in, and it did come in. So I was in a process of installing that, and I should have probably started on a door better than the driver's door. As you can see, I made a mess out of it. I was just trying to squeeze it in there, and then I finally decided to get a hairdryer. So you can see where I went up to the point where I damaged it and put a scratch in it. And then you can tell where I started using the hairdryer. And it definitely goes a lot better, a lot smoother. So I'm going to try to go back over this with a hairdryer and see if this comes back. I should have practiced on something that wasn't the driver's door that I was going to look at all the time, but shit happens. So I'll pop the camera on when I'm in the process of installing that, but I think I just give you a little looky-loo to my boo-boos that I'm doing. That's just a way anything is the first little bit when you try it. So I stuck it out in the sun too, the rest of the roll. It's kind of letting it bake out in the sun a little bit and get a little bit softer. Also, guys are complaining on the last video that was in between, which was running the bikes around, that the quality of the video was poor. There was 3 different levels on this camera, and the top one being, I think it's HD. I forget what the other 2 ones are called, but I had it at the middle setting, and it always was at the middle setting. The only thing I had done was I did a little bit of image stabilization on the last one. I have a feeling it kind of made the picture cloudy. So you should be able to see the difference between this one and the one right before this, if there is a difference. The only problem is my internet speed is so slow, it takes a ridiculous amount of time to download. So before, if I had a 10-minute video, it was probably 2-hour downtime. Now I'm going to a 10-minute video, who knows how long it's going to take, 3 hours. So that's why I had done what I had done. So, alright, so I'm going to hit the hairdryer, get that one finished up and installed, and we're going to continue on to some different spots of it, and I'll set you up on a tripod. Yeah, so I switched over to the back. I ended up getting a bowl of hot water and soaking it in there. And let's go see how that works out for us. Might not need the hairdryer and the credit card. See if I can get it started. The other part is too, you kind of want to try to get more in there than it wants, because I have a feeling in cold weather it's going to shrink back on me. So I want to try to pack it in there, not stretch it out, you know. Yeah, it's much easier. Much easier than trying to go about it the way I was going about it. Probably should have covered my credit card numbers too, huh? So the driver's door is a little on the lumpy side. If I have more at the end, I'll replace it. But I have a feeling they're only going to give you probably about a foot extra. Probably run it the other way, run it that way. Pack it in. Get the idea. So I'm gonna try doing that all the way down the line. And let's see how that makes out for us. And I'll turn you back on. And a little parting shot. She's all wrapped up and completed. I left them long because I figure they're gonna get some shrink back. So when the weather gets colder, they should draw themselves in, and if they don't, then I'll cut them at a later date. I definitely like how they came out compared to what I thought they were going to look like. Just open the garage door, can you tell the windows are starting to fog up on the bus? Super humid out. I like it. I think it took 3 years to get it all installed. Better late than never. Alright guys. Thanks for watching, comment, subscribe. Take care.